In Ethereum, there's been a recent push to move from elliptic curve-based to hash-based ZK proof systems. Hash-based proofs are important because they are post-quantum secure, but they're also bigger. Bigger proofs means higher verification costs and more bandwidth needed for validators, which is not ideal if you care about decentralization. A new paper just came out that addresses this problem, and they introduce a compression technique to make hash-based proofs 40% smaller. This means that we can maybe have post-quantum security without risking decentralization or dealing with higher costs. This is really cool stuff and just a piece of a bigger story about how ZK is being adopted for every layer of Ethereum, in no small part thanks to research like this. Moving on to some Ethereum scaling news. This week, Taiko became the first rollup to implement preconfirmations. So Taiko, as a based rollup, uses the L1 validators for ordering or sequencing their transactions. It's based on the L1. This means that they're also limited by Ethereum's 12-second block times, which leads to slow confirmations and overall worse UX. Preconfirmations, or preconfs, are a solution to this. Special nodes called preconfirmers give an economically backed promise to users that their transactions will be included in the next block, meaning they get much faster confirmations and we get better UX, all while maintaining the security properties that you get by being a based rollup. Here at Align, we are huge fans of based rollups, and we will be supporting them in our rollup as a service platform. If you want to know why, I'm going to link an article below that you can check out. Next up, we have Fluent, who just launched their testnet. Fluent is an interesting new L2 that uses a blended VM that lets developers mix EVM, WASM, and SVM smart contracts under one shared state. Fluent then proves a single state transition for this entire blended execution using a ZK VM before settling to Ethereum. The whole point of this is to let developers build much more expressive apps, and it is going to be very cool to see what sorts of things people build with this. Closing things up with news from Facet, which just became the first general-purpose Stage 2 rollup. L2BEAT's staging framework measures how trust-minimized a rollup actually is, and Stage 2 is the gold standard. Stage 2 rollups have an exit window, and if the sequencer or proposer fails, users can directly submit their transactions or propose state routes to the L1. Facet is a really unique rollup. It's immutable, like Ethereum. Users can withdraw their funds at any time because the contracts are not upgradable, there's no multi-sig security cancel, and there isn't even a canonical bridge. They don't need a privileged bridge because the gas token, FCT, is only minted by burning ETH on the L1. Overall, very interesting design and a really great demonstration of how general purpose rollups can already be built without training wheels. As always, I'm Boris from Aligned, and I'll see you next week for more ZK and Ethereum news.